Good morning, folks. It is May the 24th and I'm over here at my property with my in the woods garden. It's coming up pretty good. My pole beans are really beginning to take off. My peas are coming up real good. The corn is doing real good. The okra's up. I planted some lettuce. I don't know, maybe a bit too late. The onions are coming up. My carrots are trying to come up, but they may be a little bit too late in the year. I don't know, we'll see. Tomato plants are looking pretty strong. This one over here to the right is struggling just a bit, and I pulled up those two that stayed wet all the time and moved them over here, and they like it over here because it's not as much water holding. So this garden's looking pretty good right now, and I'm fixing to go down and got my I got about 250 gallons left on the tank, and I'm gonna go over here and water my alfalfa, and then I'm gonna go to the lake and get a refill, another 575 gallons, and let it sit here till I need it. Okay. Okay, I got about 250 gallons of water on my alfalfa. You can see the green. It looks, I was hoping it'd be a little taller, but I guess it's slow. Maybe maybe I planned it too late. I don't know, but it'll come along as long as I keep it watered, and then I think the root systems will grow. I planted some corn in here. You can see where I did the rows, and I think I had it on another video. And the corn came up and the deer just mowed it down. They're eating everything over here. The people are saying that they're eating on trees that well, they won't eat those, and the deer are eating everything. Salt, I have salt right here, salt right there, and salt, and I had a pile of corn. I bought me a camera to capture you know, the deer coming. I do have a couple of nice bucks that are got some nice velvet coming on, and so I put a camera over here to capture, you know, what kind of deer is actually hitting, you know, all this. And I can put corn down there and it'll be gone 24 hours. And but this all in here, when I planted that corn, I planted it all down here, and it was all coming up. It was probably about 3 inches, and they just come in here and just mowed it down. Didn't take them long. So if I'm going to do that again, I'm going to have to probably put a fence around it to give it some time to get started. There is one coming up right there from the seed. All the rest of it they just pulled up. Anyway, so now I've got to go refresh my tanks. I want to show you this one. There's a track right there. That's a buck track. Look how big that thing is. But I got to go to the lake and get me, let's say, it'd be about 550 gallons, maybe 575 gallons, and bring it back over here and just set it. I'll use it to keep everything irrigated. Okay, catch up with you later. All right, got my tanks refilled. 275, 275, 550 gallons. My pump, I probably said this in another video, the pump on the 2-inch line will pump about 100 gallons a minute. So it takes about 3 minutes to fill that tank and about 3 minutes to fill that tank. And once it gets primed and starts flowing, the water flow, it takes about a total of 6 minutes to get 550 gallons on my tank. All right, so now I'm gonna go back up there and park it, and that's gonna be my water supply for my next watering of my garden and my alfalfa. All right, well, I've got going on now that I've got all my watering done. We've got a bush here, a butterfly bush, that did not survive the coup spell. My wife found out that the coup spell that we got in September killed most of the people's butterfly bushes. And we've had this one for years. So I'm digging that one up, and she has bought another one that I've got to put in the ground. I'm going to put it right in here somewhere. And then she's going to get another one, and I'll put it over here. And we're going to divide up those green plants and kind of backfill. This is where I took out those evervita trees that the deer were just having a good time with. And I got tired of them. They looked awful all the time. So I just pulled them up. So we're going to kind of build something in here around this little gate that I've got. So now I got to get this up. I may need to go get my pick. I don't know. We'll see. All right, I'll get back with you when I get it done. Alrighty, I got the other bush out. Got this bush in, got it some good soil around it and some fertilizer, natural fertilizer. I dug this hole for the next one, so now it's up to my spouse for her to get over and get another bush. For that, I guess I can start splitting those up. I might do that now, but I want to show you guys something. It's kind of a mystery. That, I don't know if you can tell, but that's got water in it. And there's water in it all the time. Now what this is the supply line from my well down there, and it runs just irrigation. I have a 1-inch pipe that gets to about right in here, and then I convert it to a flex pipe to get underneath the drive and turn and go over to where all the controls are for the irrigation system. This particular pipe has a cutoff valve right here, and it's cut off for the front, and then I have a spigot right here that I have opened up, and I would think, okay, if that joint is leaking, it would backfill the water because of the terrain. But this has been off since last fall. I have not turned it on. I've turned this on probably a month and a half ago, but water kind of just stands here. It may dry up in the July and August, but water stands here even with this valve cut off. So I don't think I have a leak going to that spigot. The only thing I can surmise is there's some type of little underground little line stream of water that is right in this area somewhere, and it backfills into this hole. And another kind of interesting thing about this whole process, before I ever put my well in, was I have a sprinkler system all in here to irrigate all of this. But this particular sprinkler head has always stayed moist. I don't know why. But it's always stayed moist. And the only way water can get to that line is through the front. It goes up to the front, hits the pipe, and then it feeds it and comes back through. So there's not been any water, and I blew those out for the winter. So there's not been any water in those pipes since October. But I have this wet spot that stays wet all the time. I'm beginning to think that that and that are somewhat related, but it's the lines of whatever the stream of water that feeds this particular area is a little bit deeper. And I have dug this up before, thinking that, and I actually replaced everything, thinking that there was a leak around. But when the water's been completely off for 6-7 months, and it still has water, there's got to be, the source has got to be coming from up underneath the ground. So I found that kind of mysterious. What I'm thinking about handling this thing is I may put a pipe, I may dig right up and just put a pipe down there and let it just drain out so water doesn't stand in it. I don't know. I have a little hand pump that I do pump it out, but it fills back up again. So I don't know. Mystery. All right, so I guess I'll get my axe and start dividing up some of those and planting them over here. I've got nothing else to do. I've been fishing a lot, and been catching a lot of big catfish, but I'm not catching any crappie. I don't know what happened to them. I guess everybody's fishing for them. All right, so I'm gonna go get my axe and get to dividing those bushes up. That is a Katusha dogwood. That one over there is a Katusha dogwood. They are late bloomers. They will not bloom until the middle of May, the first part of May. Well, I think I worked myself out of another job. Split some off of that one, and I split them up and planted them. Then I went over here and got me a little trench. Took some off of here, split them up, and they will soon be standing straight up and thanking me for allowing them to have more room to grow. The other thing I did was my dogwood out here. It really struggles out here in the sunlight, and every year I think, well, it's not going to make it. Well, this year it struggled again, and it came out at the bottom and started putting off little shoots off, but there was a bunch of dead stuff up here, so I trimmed all that off of there. There was some up in here, some on that other side. So it looks better as far as the dead being gone, but it's struggling. I need to get some fertilizer on it, I guess. See if that will help perk it up. Well, that's it. I think I'm gonna get me some lunch. It's 1 o'clock. And I don't have anything else to do. Oh, what am I going to do now? I'll get me something to eat and think about it.